All right, we're back. We're live. Welcome back to BRAP. And greatness is back. And I'm not talking about PlayStation. I'm talking about BRAP. And we got Forte's beautiful masculine face on display for everyone. This is a treat. It's like happy hour when you see him. We hope he takes his shirt off tonight. And, woo! There you go. Take it off.
No.
Let me stop. He said no.
Not right now.
Not right now. We got it. We got
200 likes in the chat. We'll do it.
Wow. Get us 200 likes, and we will get Forte with his shirt off. All right. We got a great show planned for everyone tonight. We're going to talk about Google. We're going to tell you why Google Stadia is in trouble. Number one, we're going to talk some Mass Effect. We're going to talk about some big bangers, some big exclusives. PlayStation exclusives that are going to be making their way to the Xbox Series X, and we have a great panel tonight. We have Dark Optimus and Moose joining us. But on that note, let's officially get the show started right now. Go Forte! It's your birthday,
dude. That freaking intro, man! I swear, best intro in podcasting.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Great beat. Great. Thank you, Mooch. Well, on that note, I want to introduce our panel guest this evening. We have a returning guest, my fellow Latino brethren. Orale! Dark Optimus is in the house. Filling for some big shoes tonight, by the way. Our man Eric Jackson couldn't make it tonight, so Dark stepping in. Appreciate you, Dark, coming in to help us out. How are you this evening, sir?
Good, man. I don't know if I could fill those shoes, man. Those are some hard shoes to fill, to be honest with you.
And those are
apparently very big. Like Eric's like 7 foot.
I know. I'm like,
he wears like a size 80.
When he told me that, I was all like, damn, dude, like shit. This dude is tall.
Yeah, he is pretty tall. Big shout out to Eric Jackson, by the way. But Dark, pleasure having you back, man. Life will find a way. Man. I think that's how the saying goes, or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
it's Mooch's fault.
It's
totally my fault.
Yeah. And on that note, we have a returning guest, the founder, one of the founding members of Google Stadia.
Yes, thank you.
We have Mooch.
Yeah, that's on my business card. Listen, I got to tell you. I can't wait to get into this Google thing because it's, if you listened to or read what BRAP wrote all week on Twitter, you would have not thought that I was just a client, but I was the president.
Yes.
Yeah, you never know that I left in August of 2020, but nonetheless, I cannot wait to get into it. And yeah, feeling very feisty tonight, so it's going to be a great show, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, Mooch. You know, I had to get you on for this topic because I knew you were an early
I'm
adapter.
ready.
Yeah,
yes.
So we'll get into that, and then we have my man B Money 101. What's up, B?
Yo, what's going on, man? So another great Wednesday, man. Happy to be here. So let's get to it.
And I'm still coming for you, B. Man. Just remember that.
Lord, you ain't going
nowhere. NCAA football be out before you get 2K, man.
Exactly. Right. And they ain't even getting no time frame on that game.
Is never playing against B.
I'm telling you, we're gonna have a stream. We're gonna stream it 1-on-1. B Money versus BRAP. It's gonna be amazing, and I'm gonna win.
When he says stream, that's a clear indication that it's never going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, plus, we're in February already, man. The new game will be out in 7 months, man.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
BRAP go hit 10,000 subs before he does this.
Oh my goodness! Wow. On that note, we have Gaby Forte, who's I love you with your camera on, the sexy gaming Forte, as he's known on the streets.
Ooh, yeah. that was a little too close to King David, you know.
Big shout out to King, by the way.
Yeah, big shout out to King. No, man, this is probably how I'm just gonna start rolling on these podcasts now with the cam, because it's like, man, I'm super excited to be moving into the new spot next week, and I already got ideas of what it's going to look like. And oh boy, the camera gonna be on all the time. Got to show it off.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
So you know. Now I'm starting to realize how much lighting costs. because
lighting.
Lord.
Jeez, you guys are going hard.
You got one of those ring things that people get.
Actually, I ordered 2 of the Elgato key lights.
Wow,
okay. 2 of those.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 of those. I ordered my RGB strips for my collectible cabinets and my IKEA shelves that I have that's getting delivered sometime this week. So
wow,
it's gonna be, man.
That is a nice space you showed off today, there, Forte. I gotta say,
and that's only half the basement.
Damn,
Forte, and then you just podcast with your shirt off.
It's funny though, because a lot of people are probably looking at the space. I was looking up at the rafters. It looked like the Tonight Show in there. I mean,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you get a couple of those like canister lights that you can pivot left and right and move.
Those actually can. Those can actually.
I know.
Yeah, they can pivot and stuff.
Believe me, Dark can grab a couple of those from like, what do they call that? Lot 13 over on NBC Studios, Dark. WNBC.
It's mostly like rental houses that people get that stuff from.
Well,
so
you know,
there's nothing like really like actually on set.
That's disappointing.
But it was cool. I was over there. I was just happened to be at the house because I meant to take that picture a while ago, but I was like, every time I went over there to do it, I was like, man, I keep forgetting to do it. So today I went over to the house because we were having our laminate, our new flooring delivered today. And so I had to sit there for like 3 hours while waiting for them to come because, you know, you can't. They're doing the laminate. I think they're doing it on Saturday, but it has to sit at room temperature for 24 hours before they can start it.
Yep.
So, let's talk about how COVID it's a gift and a curse. Because I love it for gaming because we just play games all the time and we have all the time in the world kind of to do that. But when it comes to like services and people dropping stuff off at your house, oh my God. So they can't come in your house because of the whole COVID situation. They can only deliver to your driveway and they dropped it off in the garage. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And my wife was like, well, can you carry the stuff into the house? I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Then I forgot that it's 28 boxes of laminate, which weighs 60 pounds each.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, where I got to put this? And then I'm like all conscious because I don't want to all stack it in one spot because you don't want it to like put weight on one part of the house for too long. So I had to carry it and put it in 3 different places. And then I leave the house. My wife called. I said, okay, the laminate is in there. We're good. I'm about to leave. I'm about to go home and get something to eat. And then my wife calls me back and says, can you go back to the house? I was like, why? She said, because the guy who's going to do the painting, he's finally available. He wants to come look at it. I was like, when's he going to be there? About an hour. I was like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. And then she's like, well, you are at your home. I say, well, that's a good point, but I ain't moved in yet. So
is there a bed here? Ain't my home yet,
right?
Well, right, exactly. Well, no, she made me take the air mattress over there, so technically there is a bed.
She set you up, man.
Yeah, she set me up.
Right?
She set me up, and it's my day. And this the thing. I was off work yesterday and I was off today. And since we're moving next Friday, I'm working from tomorrow all the way through Thursday next week because I want to take the weekend off next week and I'm going on vacation after that. So I'm working like 8 days in a row. So like today was literally a work day for me because I didn't get a chance to do anything. And then she was like, then the people came for the paint and they was like, oh yeah, we'll let you guys know about the estimate and stuff. And in my head, I just see dollar signs piling up.
Yep.
Because this is a whole nother thing when you
Forte, wrap it up, B.
But I don't know, man.
This is the home improvement part of BRAP.
Yes. I got to introduce Slow-Mo.
Slow-Mo.
And then we only have Mooch for an hour. Like we got 45 minutes of Mooch left right now.
Slow-Mo.
Gotta get to the topic. Yeah.
Slow-Mo is slow-mo.
Let's get to the king of backslap. Slow-Mo backslap. What's up, dude?
Yo, what up, though?
All right, cool. All right, let's get the show started.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, perfect. So Forte, by the way, your wife just set you up, man. You're gonna be sleeping on that inflatable mattress soon, bro. No, he said no. Oh, maybe you're meant to take her. Okay, so let's get to
that already happened.
Oh,
whatever you're talking about.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, all right. So Google Stadia. We got big Google Stadia news. Let's just. I'm just gonna look, they are canning their first-party studios. I think that this is the beginning of the end for Google Stadia. We know Google's history of just canning projects, product lines. They've done it in the past. This was actually a concern from some developers that were working on Stadia games that this could happen, and it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Mooch, I'm going to go to you right away with this because you were an early day one adapter of Google Stadia.
Absolutely.
Whatever B Money might say about me, I never believed in 5G. That's
I'm
a lie.
I'm glad.
There's a whole bunch of podcasts that we can pull from that one.
You had your name as 5G BRAP or BRAP 5G, Enrique in 5G. You were a walking 5G Verizon / T-Mobile logo for like a good summer.
He was a poster.
Look, I don't recall that.
Okay, that's fine. We all recall it.
Yeah.
You know, there's
that's just called alternative facts.
I think when it comes down to it, we'll start with this because I want to get the panel's thought on this first, and then we'll deep dive into a little bit of what may be like you said, Brap, what may be the future of not only Stadia but cloud gaming as a whole. But here's what we said a long time ago. We said basically the largest operating cost for Google is their first party and the new staff that gets brought on. Because let's be honest, whether you're talking about the Raymond, Miss Raymond there, or our good friend Phil, the other Phil, what's his last name? Now he drops Harrison, right?
The Grim Reaper.
Right, absolutely slow mo. But those guys are warranting 6-figure salaries. Okay, so they acquired that was a lot of money going out there. Let's call it what it is. Now they cut that. They say, okay, we're not going first party. They're looking over it with their, in air quotes, competitors doing at Microsoft. What is Microsoft really doing right now? They're going out and buying companies and then telling them, make a game, right? So what Google's saying is, hey, we're late to the party. Let's cut the fat. Who's the fat? All our internal first-party studios, which might hit a big one, or they might just do absolutely nothing. They cut that, and now what is really costing them anything? They're using their servers, right? They have them out there anyways. If you want to buy in, you buy in. You don't want to buy in? Don't buy in. My point is this. I don't think necessarily Stadia is just going to poof, disappear in 24 hours. I think Stadia sees what Microsoft's doing, and they're like, wait a minute. We don't have to have a first-party studio. We don't have to have an internal farm system make a game from the ground up. You've got Microsoft buying Bethesda and then publicly saying, we're going to let Bethesda be Bethesda. Well, Google might turn around and say, you know what? We're going to turn around. I'm making this up. We're going to buy company A and let them keep making the same games they were going to make, but they're going to be on my service first. So what I'm saying is that I don't necessarily know if this move, you see everybody running right away to Twitter and YouTube, and everybody's making videos like Stadia's gone. If they were going to cut it, I think they would have just cut it. And I don't think that's so when people say, well, Stadia is just going to disappear. If it's just going to disappear, we'll get rid of it today, because there's no difference between today and what you just did. Like, just get rid of it. So I don't know if they're necessarily just going to be poof gone. That's the first question I got for everybody to answer. So the second one, go ahead, Forte.
Go ahead and finish.
The second one was this. If you guys do remember when I was saying the reason I tried Stadia was this is when Xbox was also hyping up xCloud. It wasn't out yet, or it was just coming out, or they were doing a beta or an alpha. And Stadia was like, hey, we're going to be on your phone. Xbox is like, hey, we're going to be on your phone. So my point is that shout out to OBJ. He goes to my boy Luther Vandross. It's over now. But I mean, I got to tell you, like, the fact of the matter is that here we are so many months later, right? We're at about a year since we had the xCloud and the Stadia bonanza that went off. And yes, xCloud is still a thing, but Stadia is not. Now, let me ask you guys this. If Pizza Hut and Domino's in November of 2019 both made a pizza and a anchovy and peanut butter pizza, That's absolutely terrible. Nobody really wants it. Maybe there's a couple of people in the audience go, I'll eat it, Mooch. All right, there's always one or two, right? You can't speak in absolutes. Just because one company decides to pull it off the menu, but the other one keeps it on the menu, and yet it sells terribly and isn't used, does that make the other company any better? Not really. Not really. So my point here is, at the end of the day, as we fast forward to where we are right now with the news we currently know, remember when everybody was like, I can't wait to play xCloud. I'm going to play Destiny 2 on my phone all day. Stop it. You're not. And you don't. Occasionally you see somebody at a bus stop with their two thumbs, and somebody over there, they're like, hey, could you take a picture of me with my phone? I'm taking just take a picture with your phone and send me the picture. I want them to think I'm actually playing this all the time at the bus stop. No, you're not. So nobody's doing xCloud. Nobody's playing Stadia on their phones. This whole streaming thing isn't really panning out. And if you don't really believe me, just take a look at where xCloud is. It's buried into a $15 a month service. It's just there. It's like if Pizza Hut left the peanut butter and anchovy pizza on the menu. It doesn't mean that it's a hot seller. It's just one company left it on there, and the other company saying, you know what? Cut the fat. It's out. And that's my point here. So I don't mind jumping in head first, right? We do the YouTube thing. We game. Let's try it out. I tried Stadia on the road. I remember when I came back, I think I was even on BRAP. I said it was terrible.
I remember.
It was terrible. And that was about it. And now, shout out to the great Wilmy Hood. Wilmy's like, Mooch, I'm out. And then literally 2 weeks later, I was out. I'm like, you know what? That was the last. Because when him and a bunch of other people left, I said, you know what? I'm out. So that's where we started. You know, everyone loves this on Twitter. This is where we started. Well, this is where we are today. So those are the questions I kind of put out there when everybody just says, well, Stadia sucks, but xCloud, I just think streaming on your phone to a certain extent, once you leave the mobile division, which is what Apple did and is capitalizing on. That's where I'm saying. And go ahead, Brad, please. I want to hear the panel.
Let me get the super chat. Let me get the super chat real quick, and then we'll get the panel. We got Mex J88 with the $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Mex J88. Says they just can't shut servers down since they would have to find a way to give them access to games the users paid for. That's a great.
They don't care nothing about that.
They don't care about that. You bought it to an ecosystem that they can shut down at any moment.
Yeah. I will say this real quick to your point, Mooch. I don't think they're not, obviously they're not shutting down right away. We know that, but I think this is a last ditch effort to like save Stadia. All right, we're not going to do first party. You know, we're going to do third party.
Yeah, but why?
I think they want to. Maybe they want to see if because you mentioned Xbox, right? And Xbox is seemingly able to garner subscriptions without having any real first-party bangers, right? And maybe they feel like, okay, if we get enough third-party content, and maybe we're just going to hammer this like Netflix and just try to make some kind of revenue off this. Like Apple's doing that. Like Apple's not making games per se, and I could be wrong. To my knowledge, Apple's not.
They're not. They have an Apple Arcade. They have a bunch of indies making a lot of smaller mobile games.
Yes.
That's why I think the biggest thing is because I think Apple's earnings report came out on January 28th. And did you hear what they said in that earnings report? And they don't make games for that service that they have. I think Amazon, I think they looked at that and they're like, and I don't think it's about Xbox. I think this is more of Xbox has an ecosystem that they already had built. They already have first-party studios that are already built. They went out and bought other studios that could contribute to what they already built. When it comes to Amazon,
or tell your daughter just walked in the background.
Yeah, I know. I just saw her walk in and she ran. She's like, "Oh shoot!"
She's like, "Oh yeah."
But when you look at the, but when you look at it, it's like they don't. Do they want to compete with Xbox? Everybody wants to compete in that space, but more they want to just look at like, why do we have to do this? And Amazon is making a killing off of it. And they don't have to do anything. Apple is making a killing off of it.
I think
they
Apple's
don't even make stuff.
I think Apple's like the third largest like gaming publisher or whatever, and they're not even making games.
They're not even making games. They're looking at it as a service like it's still going to be contingent on if you're going to get third party to want to still, make games for that service. And who knows what the viability is going to be after Amazon, quietly like pushes it a little bit to the side. But the other reason why Xbox, like I do understand what you're saying, Mooch, about Xbox and when it comes to their streaming to xCloud. Yeah. The only difference with them is they have their ecosystem isn't dependent on xCloud. Like it's like xCloud is just a part of their ecosystem that they just have. And it's like they're not going to shut the servers down if xCloud doesn't work. That's the thing.
The thing is what is currently in existence, Forte, right now that Google's paying for by getting rid of their first party studios and just putting a bunch of games, that's not costing them a lot either.
No, it's not. That's why I said it's just going to come down to third party. If third party continues to support it, then they're going to keep that server going. And I mean, they're not at the server, but they're going to keep that subscription going for people that still want to get into it. Whereas with Xbox, they have an invested interest in it because they own the service. They own studios already that could put stuff in the service, and they have third party that throw into the service too. So even knowing it's not as beneficial that we see for us, they're still going to throw in it because it's already there. It's just another thing that they could just say that, oh, look, for this $15, you're also getting this too. You may not ever use it, but it's there. And it's because it's not an added cost to them because they own so much of it.
See, the BRAP, don't get me wrong, I don't blame you because we did it on Crossfire as well. We do it here. Like everybody makes the jokes, and the jokes are what the audience remembers. What OBJ said just a moment ago is what I've been saying, and you guys love the clips. You can go check them out. I said, streaming on your phone is a viable option. Those are the words I've said a million times. And OBJ says right here, streaming as a side dish is fine, but never should be the main way to play. That's what I'm saying. So when Daniel Weiner, when he says, Mooch, let Stadia go, it's dead already. I don't have Stadia. So I let it go. It's gone. It's literally dust in the wind. But what I'm saying to you is that I just think that when it comes down to it, it's not like what they're doing and what they promoted back in November of 2019. Stadia did it and Microsoft did it. Clearly, what they both thought streaming on a mobile device was going to turn into, I'm not saying nobody knows what 10 years from now is going to happen. I get that. But what they thought was going to happen, it didn't transpire. It didn't become a daily activity. I'm not saying you don't use it. I'm not saying it shouldn't be there. It should always be an option because technology presents it that way, right? Like, why do we have Ice Cube? Why do we have Ice Cube? What do you call it? There, shifters on the outside of your refrigerator freezer. You don't need that. We only open the door. You put your hand in, you get the ice. No, they got technology now. Now the ice cube just shoots at you. Fine, whatever. So Stadia is giving you that option, and Xbox is giving you that option. But let's be honest. Wouldn't the panel all agree? If you can just take yourselves back to 2019 November when everybody was like, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm taking Witcher 3 with me everywhere. No, you're not. No, you didn't.
Weren't you one of those people too, Mooch?
No, I wasn't. I said, if I go, well, no, let me rephrase that. Yes. I said, when I take it on the road, I would like to play it when I'm going on the road and playing Destiny 2, blah, blah, blah. But guess what happened 2 months later, Dark?
You dropped
global pandemic.
That's true.
Travel's gone. No traveling. There's no nothing. So I wanted to try Stadia and xCloud on the road, but there's no road to be on. Yeah. We're stuck in the house. So what you got people doing the past 12 months is really trying Stadia and xCloud in their living room. And then they're like, hey, let me try this out in the kitchen. Hey, you know what I heard? I heard the backyard might be really cool. And you know what they found out? The couch was the winner at 60 with a 65-inch television.
Mooch, they also found out that data caps are a thing with Comcast in the Northeast, and now actually Comcast, because they were facing some legislative backlash for imposing data caps, and they've actually I've gone back on that. I think I need to call Comcast because I actually signed up for the additional $10 unlimited plan, whatever the case is. But that's the other thing. It's data caps. Like data caps, and I've never been a proponent of 5G. I don't know where B Money got that from, but
oh Lord, don't lie to these people.
Hey, listen, it may have been just the words that came out of your mouth for
exactly.
Look, those are alternate facts. Alternative facts.
We got to run the tape back.
We heard Ric Flair after every 5G, just like race every time you go Ric Flair.
Yeah,
I wasn't even there, and I knew that's what you said.
Oh wow, I don't know, but but no, it's. Yeah. Anyway, so no, I hear you, Mooch. I think maybe their saving grace is okay. We see what Apple's done. We're going to go that route, but then it's like I think that they need to figure out how to prop up Stadia and incentivize people to actually, sign up for this. And what can they offer?
I don't think that's a problem.
I cannot take this anymore. I have to say this. Look,
go ahead,
Slow-mo.
Stadia was dead on arrival. It was still bad.
It was.
Hey, Slow-mo, we called it early, man. We called it day one.
We said it was super early, and it wasn't just because that Google quits on things quickly, and that's a historical thing that they do within new markets. It wasn't that. It wasn't just that. Exactly. Their business model was bad. Now, you could say that, hey, cloud isn't going to work as a primary method of getting games, and everyone can have their opinions on that. That's fine. The biggest issue is that they did not have first-party titles, exclusive titles at launch. Period. When you start out like that, you are already behind the 8 ball. And unfortunately, regardless of whether you turn things around from a portfolio standpoint, when you get a certain reputation, that's it. I mean, it's hard to get rid of that reputation. You could have a great product, but if your product was trash in the beginning, people just say, your product's trash. Like this is the reason why we see car makers, I'm saying some of them still trash, but say for example, a Hyundai, for example, they gotta go out and try to get people in with a $10-year warranty. Yep. Why? Because people look at you as trash, and so they're not going to go to you. They're going to go to Honda, who doesn't have to do that to get people in the door. I'm going to use a food analogy, like Mooch does all the time.
I can't do it like Mooch.
He can do it.
Here's a pizza. There's a pizza parlor you're opening up, but the only pizza you have is just straight cheese.
Yeah.
We don't have any.
Time out. My kids might like that pizza place.
You better give a free soda away. Yeah.
Nautica's kids will be the only customers.
You're
now,
right.
3 months later, now you got all the toppings. You got meat lovers. You got veggies. And I don't know why people are like that. That's nasty. You got anchovies. You got everything people want. But the entire town,
they got jumbo slice Slow-mo.
They only got cheese because they tried you out when you first started, and you sucked. And so you're sitting there with all these toppings that are molding out, and you're gonna have to throw them out because no one's buying it, and it's because you missed your opportunity. Yep. And that's Google. They've missed their opportunity. And then now, how are you going to acquire? Imagine I'm a developer. I own a company. I saw what you just did to Typhoon Studios, who you just bought a year ago. I saw what you did to your internal studios, like you thought you was going to get AAA games in a year. What are you doing? You don't know about this industry, period.
Right.
You brought in Phil freaking Harrison, the Grim Reaper. How you're the only person still giving Phil Harrison a job? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. By the way, what's up with Phil? What's up with Phil Harrison though? Like, how he's been behind some of the
hold on, Ricky. My point here is that if you're still trying to get developers to sign on with you, you have given them ample reason this week to not do that because they don't know what you're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah,
you could be saying, "Hey, we're all in. How much money you need? All right, let's do it. And then tomorrow, we're canceling all this shit."
No, that's a very good point. The trust bond is broken.
Exactly. So,
that's a good point.
Well, especially with gamers,
people get laid off. Why am I going to sell my company that I independently worked hard for to get to this point to you, so then you can screw us all over and leave us dangling in the wind? I don't think so. I will stay independent, and if I am going to sell to anybody, it's going to be either Amazon, Tencent, or Microsoft, but it ain't going to be you. And so that's literally where they're at right now. This is why they've been stillborn from the very start. They had no shot. They had no games.
Stillborn.
Like you didn't even live. Did you really live? No.
But Let me ask the panel this question though, because like Slomo brought up something that I thought was a great point about they bought Studio a year ago, and now like that's over with. Jay Redmond's gone, unfortunately. She's lost her job. She's out of a job now.
Oh, well, that girl got paid twice.
Yeah, that's true.
That girl got paid by EA, and they got paid again by Amazon for working 6 months.
But I guess here's my question.
Google,
here's my question for the panel. What Phil Harris, people refer to him as Agent 47 now. What
really look like?
Yeah, what I mean, Phil Harrison has to know, guys, if we're making this investment in first party, it's going to take 3, 4, 5 years to get games out, right? Did that conversation not happen? It's like you can't just it's almost like Google trying to dip their toes.
No, man.
Wrong people.
Google,
I mean, Phil was probably there just for a paycheck, to be honest.
Well,
go ahead, B.
Go ahead, B. I want to hear B.
Google pulled Phil in the office. They sat him down at the table. They was like, "Oh, you used to work on games." He was like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, well, how much is it gonna cost for you to come work for us?" They wrote down a number. He looked at it, smiled, and said, "Yeah, I'll get a job done." And that's how it went.
Yeah.
With zero attention to actually getting it done. He's probably looking at the decisions that they're making is just like, that's not work.
Yeah, he knew this was gonna work from the start.
That paycheck is good though.
Now, I do want to give, like I said, everything you guys are saying is completely right. But I do think of all the companies that tried to start streaming, Google probably got hit the hardest by this whole lockdown situation because first of all, they didn't have any first party. So the leash on them trying to build anything was shorter than it could possibly be because people if we would have been in a normal year or a normal cycle where people still had opportunities to leave and travel and go places, maybe they could have lasted a little bit longer. But the fact that especially Xbox and PlayStation, they have some type of service. I mean, even Nvidia with their Nvidia Shield, they have a service, Nvidia Now, that you can stream to that has their own content and stuff like that. But I think
Forte, even with Nvidia, you could play your Steam-owned games.
Yeah, your Steam-owned games. Yeah.
Right.
So the biggest thing really just came back to, I think, for them, they got hit really hard by the stay-at-home because they had an ecosystem that they were trying to build on from scratch, where everybody else had an ecosystem that they kind of just could poach from, that they already had games available in, and they were just going to make it.
It's true. You got to hear what Forte. You got to hear what Forte's saying. It was part of their formula, and that's why when Dark says mooch, didn't you say that? That's what Forte is alluding to. I believe Forte. I don't mean to put words in your mouth.
No, because that's the reason. That was the allure of it at first.
I spent a lot of time on the road, and the minute we got to January of 2020, that all ended.
That ended,
and that goes for many people, even people that still say they get up and go to work every day. Their jobs are not getting on an airplane and flying somewhere. Mm-hmm. Most people, right? So if you remember back when they were talking about xCloud and they're talking about Stadia being the next greatest thing, that was going to be the next greatest thing because us as a people, we were never staying still.
Nope.
I mean, I know it's been forever, but stop and think about 2019 again. We always think about we use the funny innuendos and stuff like that, but think about 2019. I mean, I remember telling BRAP, I remember telling a bunch of people, I would say, I don't even have a lot of time to game anymore. Now I'm platinum games. I'm finishing games. Like, I got time. Like, you get done with work, you come home, you're not meeting your friends at the bar for Monday Night Football. Yep. There's no kids sports anymore that you're bringing your kids to anymore, right? There's nothing you have to do anymore with the family. You can't go to the movies. You can't do anything. You can't go out to eat. You can't do nothing. So what do? You game. But the problem is that, right? The xCloud and Stadia mantra, the business model, was for on the go.
Sure was.
Take your laptop, take your tablet, take your phone, and go and play and enjoy these things. And the problem is the minute they launched, that life as we knew it ceased to exist, and it still currently does cease to exist. So Forte's right. They just launched at it was just the wrong time. And the
only reason Xbox is still going at it is because it doesn't affect them, because they have it part of an ecosystem that you can still just download the games if you want to play them either on your Xbox or on a PC, and they're just saying this is just part of the suite that we're giving you. Where Stadia, it was only streaming,
right?
And if you were sitting at home, you could stream to your TV, right, or you could stream to your PC or a low-level laptop. But if you were doing that, why wouldn't you just play natively on the system yourself?
Yeah,
most people that think about services like that they're not really the target audience for this. The people like Mooch is talking about, the people that were consistently moving and never in one place, that's who this system was for. Yep. It wasn't for people like us, because for us, we'll sit down when we get home and I'm going to sit in front of my computer like I am now, or my TV that's sitting next to me, it just played natively right on the platform.
That's right. That's right.
That's why the business plan was jacked up from the beginning, though, because they didn't know who their customer was. What they should have did, it just made it to where Stadia was an app. It was available on Google Chrome and on your phone, on everywhere. It should have been available everywhere. They should have partnered with all third parties, put all the products in there that they could grab in the service, and then just charge a monthly fee to access it, just like Netflix or any other streaming service.
That's what they did.
That's how you gain the customer base, by trying to nickel and dime everybody to where you had to buy the games and all that other bullshit.
So they did everything you said, except for that last part. They did not do that. You're saying they should have made it where you go in, you pay a monthly fee, and then you have a library of games.
Yeah, that's exactly what they should have done, like B said. Yeah,
I agree with you. I think the one thing that I guess I still have a hard time understanding the argument is this. If you were to buy in, whether you were going to get into the Stadia app, like B was just saying, and pay $10 a month, or if that means you like Stadia. If you're going to do that, if you're going to go that far, that means you like Stadia, right?
Right.
When people were like, I don't want to buy a game and I don't own it. I still have a very hard time when people say that, because when you buy a digital game on Xbox, Sony, or PlayStation or Stadia, it's tied to your account. Now, the only argument that stands here is what Slow-Mo said a minute ago when he said, now you don't know if Stadia is trustworthy, and if they're going to drop it, they're going to drop it, which means you would buy, let's say you bought 3 games on Stadia, you might only be able to play them for the next 3 years if they completely shut it down, right?
Right.
But except for that, I mean, buying a digital game, you always roll the dice and risk whether or not it's going to truly be yours if the company shuts down that division. You never know, is my point. Now, it's more likely on Microsoft and PlayStation. That's a no-brainer. But I'm trying to say to you that, like, when people were like, I don't want to buy a game on Stadia, I don't own it. What does that mean? Like, you have a Google account, right? Everybody has Gmail. Everybody. So you have a Gmail account, right? So you buy the game on Gmail. What's the difference if it's on your Gmail account with Google or it's on your Gmail account with Xbox? Like, I never got that. That's the one thing I never understood. When you buy a game digitally, you're always rolling the dice if it's that was the whole 2013 debate, right? And debacle. Like, I don't own my games, DRM. We were arguing DRM, and now we thrive for DRM.
Here we are, right?
Everyone's like, I can't wait. I'm going to play it at 12:01 a.m. Eastern time. I'm not waiting in line. Like, I don't understand that concept, but I think that B was right. The part where they didn't understand their customer, it ties into Slow-Mo's point again. And that is that they didn't have any games. They didn't have any games. They had nothing from their first party. They had nothing exclusive from third party. That's how you lure people in. Like Slow-Mo said, 10,000 mile warranty or whatever it was, 10-year warranty, whatever, on the vehicles like Hyundai did and a few other companies, right? That's how you lure people in. They had nothing to lure people in. They were like, hey, we're doing what they're doing. Well, no shit, Stadia, but the problem is you're about 20 years too late. So that was, I think Slow-Mo's points hit hard with why the actual failure occurred. And it always, listen, we have these arguments week in and week out, not just about Stadia. It's always about the games. It's always about the games. And, that's the one thing that me and Forte, we had some great discussions. BRAP, you as well. Slow-Mo's been on there. I got to get B money on Crossfire. We talk about it all the time. The fact of the matter is that you have the Series X launched and no games exclusive to that console, right? And you think that doesn't matter. You go, Mooch, it doesn't matter. It certainly it matters.
No, it definitely matters.
It certainly matters. And I got news for you. Because of the pandemic, Xbox is probably able to keep within a ratio of PlayStation, but we see the numbers out from PlayStation today. Xbox is not going to, they're not going to say how many consoles they sold because they're already probably behind Sony. And the minute Sony gets another batch out, and those are going to be gone instantly, Microsoft's going to fall behind. And if you think it's not because of the games, you're sorely mistaken. And that's Stadia's ultimate failure was they had nothing to give the customer day one. Hey, thanks for buying my service. Now play these games. And what was it you've said all the time, Forte? I got all those games on Xbox already. Or I can buy that on my Xbox or PlayStation. I'm not wasting my money. So that's the true downfall of Stadia was they were not prepared. They didn't, as B said, they didn't know their customer. Their customer is saying this, we'll give you a chance, but give me something I can't get over there. It's the reason you try out the new pizza joint. It's the reason you try out the new dealership. They're going to give you that 10-year warranty where the other guy's only going to give you 5. What do I get for trying you out? If you're going to just match the other guy, listen, I got rewards and points and everything else going on with the other guy. He takes care of me. You got to beat him or I'm staying over here. It's as simple as that.
You didn't even get that's the thing that kind of killed me because that's the same thing we all said when we first heard of the business model for it. It was like, okay, so how many games do you get in this? Oh, you don't get any games. You got to pay for them. You don't even get it. The one thing I will give credit to PlayStation and to Xbox is at least when those games are in those services, they give you discounts on them. Like I know Xbox does because everything in Game Pass you get 10% cheaper. So you telling me that
Epic Game Store, right? Epic had a harder time getting into their market than I would say Stadia did because Steam had a monopoly, had a lock on everything, and PC gamers. I mean, they just. I mean, let's keep it.
They still revolt.
They worship Steam. They act like Steam is their best friend, and they just. I mean,
you know what's funny? They used to hate Steam,
but Epic did. They were giving discounts like crazy. Every time you bought a game there, it was like $10 off. They were just giving you money off just because they made envoys towards developers. Hey, you're gonna get a bigger cut if you put your game if you put your games on our platform, and if you go exclusive with us, we'll scratch your back even further. That's the kind of stuff, really aggressive stuff that you have to do in order to get yourself into a market where you have zero real influence or any kind of percentage of the market in. You have to take some L's financially so that you can kind of seed yourself into that market. And Google, I mean, you're forcing people to pay for a sub, and then they also have to pay full price for the games. They should have. You're already getting the sub. They should have been putting some kind of discount on the games coming in because you don't get the physical, you don't have the license, you really own these games, for real. If it's all through cloud, make it a little bit cheaper. And that's going to be coming out of your cut, your 30%. Maybe you just take 10%. And when you from the dev, you only take 10% of the sale of the game. Either way, you have to give people an incentive to come to you. And when your competition is doing exactly what you're doing to a T, there's nothing that they are doing that you're doing that's really different from them.
And they're doing it better too.
And they're doing it better. Right. And they have so much more going on in their ecosystem. There's so much more they're giving your potential demographic of customers that you're not. It's like it's just textbook. I'm going into a market. All I got is money. That's all I got. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any understanding of what's happening here. I don't understand my customer, but you know what I got? I got a bunch of money. So let's make this work. And that's really about it. It's they didn't really understand the video game market, but they had a ton of money to go in there and give it a the old college try.
They didn't even do that.
It took an L.
That wasn't no college try because my biggest thing is like as much as people try to say that these companies have all this money and they can they can buy whatever they want to buy. you know, it's still a company that wants to make money. And of all of them, it just seems like Google can be very risk averse when it comes to certain ventures that they want to try to do, because there's no reason that they couldn't have something in place, like how we complained about when Halo Infinite got delayed and everybody kept saying, well, Xbox needs to go out and, you know, secure some type of big third party IP. We were talking about how Cyberpunk, Lord have mercy, would that have been a silly if they would have did that, because after knowing what happened with Cyberpunk. But we were all talking about they need to have something in there like Assassin's Creed, something that they got a Game Pass to make up for the fact that they're missing this. And even Xbox didn't do that, but it was like they had absolutely nothing for you. It's like there was nothing in that service that you could tangibly get that was only available for them. And it kind of just shocks me that these $1 trillion companies that want to start into these ventures aren't 100% into them. It's like, oh, we'll stick our toe in to see exactly how it feels. But then as soon as it gets too hot for them, they jump out. And I'm like, then why did you even do it in the first place?
They did it because they know it's the biggest form of entertainment in the world. And
well, if you're scared to jump in, then why jump?
Yeah.
Hey man, because they want a piece of that pie.
They ain't even take a slice of it.
Yeah.
Hey Mooch, I think you might appreciate this comment here from Mogwai. Google could have bought some studios and told people to just wait. There's a whole demographic of gamers who love to wait. That's so savage. I thought it was pretty funny though.
That is savage.
But I thought it was funny.
It's dirty, bro.
You know what? You gotta. I mean, you gotta find humor in things sometimes. You know,
you do.
You know, it's just you know, and
Google could go and buy.
Are we talking about these gamers? Are these gamers the ones that want to wait?
No one said Xbox Forte.
I'm just saying, we call it a spade.
Go ahead, B.
No, Google could do whatever they wanted in the gaming space if they truly want to. They could go and buy majority stock and whatever company they wanted, Take-Two, EA, Capcom, whoever the fuck they wanted, and take over those companies. And now they are owned by Google, and they can put out games. But they're not doing that.
I mean, they could have got Bethesda. I mean, Bethesda was out there.
Absolutely. That's the thing. You wonder, why are they sitting on their hands? Just how serious are you? You did those 2 promo videos where Harrison came out and did his video, and he told everybody 2 or 3 times how committed Google Stadia is. If that's the truth, then spend the money. Like, you go out and buy Bethesda. Imagine like the same thing, the exact same thing Phil Spencer said. Picture of Harrison said it, right? All of a sudden you have Bethesda, ZeniMax being acquired by Google. They don't tell them anything. What do you got coming? This is the portfolio for the next 5 years. Okay, make those games, put them on our system. Imagine now you have Fallout. You have all those games on Google Stadia. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a big splash on Xbox. It is. But it's a bigger splash on Google because you're like, wow, I guess I got to go over there to play Fallout. That changes everything.
Game changer, yeah.
Right? So when you sit there and we say Google and Apple and Microsoft have all the money in the world, they do. But, a lot of these companies, they don't want to spend it. They don't. They don't want to really. That's what you said. They could have jumped into the pool. They didn't jump in the pool. They put their big toe in the deep end. They were like, that's cold.
They were boiling like a frog. Yeah. And it was like, it's too hot. I got to get out.
They just got out.
Too hot. Hey, Forte, this comment's for you, by the way, by Mr. Gregor Von Doom. What's up, Gregor? You want to read that, Forte?
I love it.
Shout out. Hold on, man. Shout out to Gregor Von Doom. I appreciate you, bro. It's not a super chat, so I don't know why we're reading this.
I'm reading it because
it's not in color. But you know what? Just because you are an amazing person, we're going to read this. Google put more effort into making games than Forte did into beating them. Lord have mercy. You know what, sir? Thanks for being a huge supporter of the DPS podcast and every other podcast that you come to. Shout out to you, and we love you, bro.
Yeah,
shout out to Doom.
All right, so
now, what do you guys think is going to happen? Because I mean, this pandemic's not going to last forever.
Who said?
I mean,
I hope not.
I mean,
I feel like 2021 is New Game Plus right now.
Right. I feel like we just got out. I just feel like the trailer just ended.
What do you guys think is going to happen?
Dr. Goldblum, life finds way.
What do you guys think is going to happen when this is over? What are you guys going to, do you think Google Stadia is going to still be around, or you guys think Google Stadia is going to be gone?
Google Stadia will be around as long as third party supports it.
That's correct.
That's correct.
That's literally the answer to, because if they're getting,
do you think it'll thrive after this whole?
It depends on what.
I don't think so.
They have to switch their whole business model.
Yeah, they can't be charging you full price for games.
Yeah,
they need to get some type of deal
Netflix.
where they have these games come in there. Maybe it's not brand new games day and date, but they need to come in there and have some type of business plan where you can stream these games and do whatever you need to do. But having people pay $60 for a game that you can natively get on your system, because let's be for real, people that are interested in the games that you're selling already have consoles in their house. They're not using. You're not the reason that they're buying the game. They're buying it because you're supposed to make it easier. But I shouldn't have to pay full price for a game that I already probably have on another platform.
Can I say something that's really not all that controversial?
Google, the fact that you clarified that, sir, it probably is about to be.
Yes, I was about to say that.
No, it's not. It's really not at all.
Okay,
it's not going to work for them. This is not going to work for them because they already showed they are not willing to do what's necessary to make this work.
They don't want to get their hands dirty, Slow-Mo.
Yeah, which is first party games, which is exclusive games. You shut down your first party studios. You already showed that you are not committed to this. You go get now. You think that you're going to go get like pay for third parties, and you're going to have to spend a massive amount of money to convince a third party developer to put their game exclusively on your platform. You're going to have to spend some crazy money to get them to do that. Way more than you did maybe a few months ago.
Yeah.
Now that said, you have to do all this extra money. Why wouldn't you just keep your first party studios and keep the games that you're developing anyway?
Right.
But you chose not to do that, which shows that your commitment just really isn't there.
It's not there. That's Slow-Mo. That's the beginning, the middle, and the end. It's not there because, to be honest with you, like you said, what's the harm at this point? You've already paid the salary of the major executives that you've hired, right? Those people didn't come cheap. I don't care if you like their resume or not. They didn't come cheap. And then you've got the first party studios that you opened up. You had people working. You had games being produced and made and developed for. And you just cut all of that. At this point, I mean, to go back to Dark's original question of where do you think they're going to be? I mean, I think Forte nailed it. As long as companies, which, by the way, they do have to do extra work because it's Linux based, right? You guys tell me if I'm wrong. But in order to to get it on Stadia, they have to do extra work. So as long as they're willing to continue to do that and they see that there's dividends coming in, Stadia will always be that third party casual stopping ground. I don't know if it's necessarily going to do well.
Right, exactly.
But it's not, as it currently stands right now, I don't think it's costing them a whole lot of money. It's really not. It's just, you want to play it over here, go buy it over there. You know what I mean? It's like when you have, like Amazon. Like if you don't want to buy your toilet paper from Amazon anymore, they don't care. Their site's up and running. You want to buy it, buy it. You don't. Google's not going to lose a fortune with the current structure now that they cut their first party. It's sustainable.
Yeah.
Now, whether they want to do it, like I said, once you got third-party developers going, we're not putting our games over there. Well, once the product disappears, they're done. But
that's the other thing too, Booch. Like if they don't change the business model, I think to like a Netflix type thing, and like I think Forte said this earlier, like what's the incentive? And again, it goes back to what B said. Who is the customer? Because you're asking people, you're targeting a demographic of people who buy games that already have consoles. So basically what you're trying to do is entice people who don't own a console to buy games, but those people would have bought a console if they're really interested in gaming to begin with anyway. Does that make sense? Like there's no it factor about Stadia. And I think they're going to run into the same problem of trying to convince people, assuming that they charge for third-party content, or they're just going to have to drop the bag to third-party developers. Say, hey, if you put the game on Stadia, we're going to pay you X amount of royalties, whatever, or X amount of dollars just to have the game in the service. Like I don't see how this is going to work for them long term. And then the other thing is what happened to all the feature sets that they advertised in Stadia. right? You remember you could go into YouTube and see an ad or something for a game.
Still ain't happen.
Yeah, you could just jump into that game, or you could like could you like play with a streamer or something like that? Somebody like a YouTube influencer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, none of that stuff happened. And I get it's far out. It hasn't happened. Like Sony hasn't giving us more storage for the PlayStation 5, which Sony you gotta get on that, by the way, because that's I think it's ridiculous not be able to have expandable storage on the PS5 right now. I had to go and delete some stuff, but that's another topic. I don't know, guys.
As you should, because if you're not playing the game, why have it installed?
It really is a good point, Slow-Mo. I think Slow-Mo is right on that, but I do think that BRAP, in all honesty, I think in the next update or two, you're going to see that.
I hope so, because I think at this point, like that should have been something that was day one, and I know that they have to go through that. Exactly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
I'm just this is ridiculous. I'm just looking at Stadia. I'm glad y'all said it, because I forgot that I still okay. Once again, this is one of those subscription services that I literally let lapse because me and Lord Cognito were subscribed to it because Destiny was the cheating was so bad over there, so we went to Stadia to play. And I was like, oh, let me go check and see if my Stadia membership is finally lapsed for the $10. And I was like, oh, no, it hasn't. Let me cancel this right now. But before I cancel it, I'm looking at the store. And right now, why is NBA 2K20 $60?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is Madden 21, the Super Bowl's next week, is $29.99, but I can walk into a brick and mortar store right now and get that game for $20.
Yep.
Like Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. Why is it $50? It's like all these games in here. Like who's gonna pay $60 for Rage 2? Who's gonna do it?
Not me.
Come on, man. That's why.
Come on, man.
Come on,
not me.
Man.
Yeah,
let me cancel this now.
I want to get the super chat real quick from Senu. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Senu.com with the $3 super chat says making games is hard, needs talent, tech, and time. This is very true. It's a great point. Something that Google, I don't know, had to realize, I guess. But then again, Agent 47 was in the house, so
that's true.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Last question related to Google, because in Mooch, I know you got to go. What's the over under here? How much longer do they have? Dark Optimist gave us a cough. Okay,
6 months to a year, probably.
I was gonna say 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. I think they're gonna hang on for at least for 2 years.
Yeah, because like I said, it's not costing them anything to keep the lights on for that. I mean, it's really not. It'll come down to the fact 2 years is enough time into this next generation that these developers and publishers are working very closely with Microsoft, Nintendo, and PlayStation. 2 years is enough time for Google to get enough. No, we're not going to support your system. Where they're going to cut it from third party.
Yeah. B, I think you said a year.
No, I think they hang on for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 years. All right, Forte.
What was the question? I was canceling my subscription.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Listen, I was literally focused, like canceling the subscription because it renews itself on the 11th. So I was trying to cancel it. So
how much longer do you think this thing lasts?
Stadia? Well, they're done for me. I already canceled my subscription. They're never going back. How long it will last in general? I'll give it to the end of next year before they completely pull the plug on it.
All right.
2022.
2022. All right. What about you, Slow-Mo?
End of 2022? That's
end of 2022.
That's 2 years.
That's 2 years, yeah. Slow-Mo, what do you think, man? Slow-Mo's quiet on the subject. All right. I'm going to say this thing is going to be over end of 2021.
Oh, so you think this is the last year? I think
you're saying that just for a little like action. There's no way. They're not going to pull the plug on it.
Are you saying
pull the plug in 11 months?
Are you saying I'm not being sincere about my?
I think you just you're throwing a little bit of. I think it's a little flub.
You think it's a little flub?
You know what?
No. I think. Listen, I don't blame you. Look, you could be right. I'm just saying. I'm just going by Google's history. They didn't cut the whole thing, right? They didn't cut the whole thing. They left. They still have Stadia. if you're going to cut it in 11 months, it's legitimately going to take what Forte said. It's going to take the third parties from completely dismissing you and having nothing to do with you and not even answering your phone calls. And then they're going to be like, you know what? We're out.
Mooch, they still got a bunch of games that were announced that are coming to Stadia this year, though. So that's why I think at least it's good. I think the games that are coming to Stadia are still coming this year, but we don't know about long term. So the news of them canceling their studio and saying, well, we're getting out of this when it comes to us, I think that's going to trickle out towards the rest of the developers when it comes to like new things that they're making that they haven't announced yet. And they're going to say, well, why are we going to put this out there and you don't believe in your platform enough to make your own game? So I think those games are going to probably be revisited and not released over there. But stuff that's already announced, that stuff's going to come because they already put the time into, building it. But after this year, it's up in the air.
Wow. So some people in the chat think I'm working the crowd. Look, I'm just going by. Look,
They might be right, man. We got some very intelligent people that watch our show.
We do. I'm just saying, and by the way, everyone smash that like button if you haven't done so already. We're gonna be doing a giveaway, by the way, later on. Trivia giveaway. 40
likes, man. What happened to that 200?
That's why I'm leaving early. Is I'm leaving and then I'm going to enter because then I'm technically not a panel member. So I'm going to participate.
I see what you
swear I won't.
I see what you did here, Mooch. I see it. Well played, sir. Well played.
Thank you.
Well played.
Mooch wasn't born yesterday. Go ahead.
Look, I really, in all jokes aside, I do think it's a year, the end of this year, and I'll tell you why. We've seen Google, do things like this. We've seen examples of, like look at Microsoft with Mixer. They bought Ninja. They bought what's his face? Was it Shroud? I think, or
that's a great example.
And then what? Like 2 months later, it's like, oh, just kidding. Mixer's gone. Like what?
Like, it's funny too, because in all honesty, Ninja never really rebounded well. He didn't. I know he made his money. I got it. Believe me, he's not starving.
He rebounded financially.
He's not starving. But it's funny you say that. If you're a comedian or you are a performer of any kind, and you were selling out houses. I mean, you were selling the house. Madison Square Garden was sold out. All of a sudden, you do Madison Square Garden after a deal goes down and it doesn't work out, and you just got the front row filled. It ain't the same, man. It ain't the same. He was having 64,000 people on a Wednesday night when nothing new came out. Now in the middle of prime time, he's hitting 13,000. I got news for you. You can go ahead. I understand. Believe me, I understand he's doing fine. I'm not asking. I'm just saying that move that was 2-3 months destroyed because he went to Mixer, lost all those people. They stayed over there. Majority of people went over to Doc Disrespect at the time. And went to like Nick Merckx, and like Nick's a great. He's one of my favorite streamers. Nick actually, from what I don't watch a ton of Twitch, but he went from like 20,000 today. I was looking, just scrolling through, seeing how people. Nick Merckx had 65,000 people at prime time. 65,000. A lot of those people used to be Ninja folks, and they never went back. And I'm just saying,
a lot of those people are still Ninja folks. They just don't go over there and they watch.
That may be true. I'm just saying.
Let's be for real. Ninja, I see more paraphernalia for Ninja running around out here than anything.
Listen. Like I said, he's doing well. He's putting bread on the table. Like, you know what I mean? Whether he's got his merch going, he's got his signed signed contract with Adidas. He's making his money. That's not a question. But again, you have to ask yourself this. You don't think performers? You don't think that it still bothers them? I think that's why he's been a little bit more upset on the air, like recently, right? He's been in the news. He's been getting upset. He went from 65,000 people on a boring day with nothing to stream to 14,000.
But would you rather be Nick Merckx or would you rather be Ninja?
You know what? I'll answer your question. I'll say Nick. You know why?
Why?
Because the sky's still the limit, and for Ninja right now, the limit's the sky. He's topped out. He's done.
Okay.
And Nick, you can keep going up. He's just starting his line of clothes and doing his thing. He can branch and keep going. I think Ninja's hit.
I just think that happens until the next. I just think that happens until the next big person comes.
Well, that's the
only
nature of the business.
I think
that's the nature of the business.
Ninja may. You're right in the asset of he going to Mixer kind of.
It
really stunning him when it came to like his overall, not appeal because everybody knew who he was, but nobody was going to Mixer to watch anything. They were all we're staying over here on Twitch. We support you, but we're staying on Twitch. So him leaving gave the avenue for other people to grow. Like Nick became this huge personality because Ninja left the platform. If Ninja would have never
I'm not saying that's the only reason. I'm just saying that
no, it's not the only reason, but that helped. So the thing is going to happen is who's the next person that's going to come up that's going to blow up? Like Tfue was one of them, and then he fell off the earth because of situations that was going on in his personal life. You had Dr. Lupo and everybody else. It's everybody has a time and place. It just comes down to being at that right place at the right time. Nick Mercer, you're right. The sky is the limit right now. It's only the limit though into the next person that everybody wants to watch because let's be for real. At a certain point, even Dr. Disrespect, he came over here, was averaging 300,000 viewers, and now look, I mean, it's still up there, but he ain't averaging 200,000 to 300,000 viewers like he was averaging when he first got over here.
Oh, the doc on YouTube?
Yeah, everything is settled down. Everything is settled down.
It's settled down. It definitely settled down, but I mean, at the same time, you're right. You're only big until the next big thing, but that's sports, that's comedy, sports, TV, that's everything. You know what I mean? Like that's everything. That's why you got to continue to reinvent yourself. You've got to continue to do something different. You've got to continue to entertain your audience. So, I mean, long story longer, I'm saying you're not wrong either, Forte. I like exactly where you're going with this, but I think that when it comes down to it, when he moved over to Mixer, he lost 40,000 people that were watching on a boring Wednesday night. Right. And those people, majority, not all, you can never speak in absolutes, majority of those people never came back. And once that Adidas deal's done, they're not going to re-sign him.
Well, I think Punkish, he made a really good point in the chat. He said he thinks Nick Merch really blew up when Dr. Disrespect got banned. Well, so I think it was like a double whammy because you take the two top people on the platform and one is gone because he left to go pursue greener pastures.
He's partially right though, Forte, because I mean,
you knock out two of the biggest people on the platform and then and everybody knew who Nick Merckx was. He just, it's not enough viewers on Twitch to go around.
I watched when Doc was over there. I watched both of them. Yeah. Nick was, when Doc was still there, and
I'm not saying Nick because Nick's amazing. I watch Nick all the time.
Nick was knocking down, and Nick had 45 or 46,000.
Yeah.
Okay. When Doc was still with Twitch. So is Punk right? Yes. Some of those numbers did go over. Some. But he was still at 45,000. And you got to remember, Nick was also streaming because he didn't want to. I'm assuming I'm not going to put words in anyone's mouth, but he was at night. He would do late night streams where Doc was the middle of the day. Now that Doc's gone, he moved to the primetime slot. And now he's got 65, 70,000 people on a regular day.
What were you about to say, Slow-Mo, after he's done?
Yeah, go ahead, Slow-Mo.
Basically, the reason why Ninja didn't work on Mixer is because it's not just the way people watch people on Twitch. They may be there and Ninja may have been their primary view, but then there are multiple people who are also streaming at that same time that they're also interested in watching. So they may, when Ninja goes off, they may go watch Myth or whoever, right? Yeah. They may go watch someone else who's also live, and they'll have just go down their list. Now Ninja goes to Mixer. Who else do they know on Mixer besides Ninja? Nobody. So they don't have that incentive to. Hey, when he goes off, then what else am I doing here? Who else am I going to watch? They don't know these people, and if they don't know them, they're not really going to give them the opportunity.
That's right.
Get those people the opportunity to get a new viewer out of them. That's why his impact on Mixer was just negligent for everyone else. You would think that other people would have been like, when he. I don't know if Mixer even had the kind of raiding format where when he goes offline, let me go raid someone else who could use, these viewers. I don't even know if they had that going on or not. But if they didn't have, if they did have that going on, it seemed to not help anyone else, regardless. And so that was part of the reason why those guys like Shroud and Ninja going over there, no one else knows those other people. well, you know what? I'm just gonna stick over here and watch like the other dozen people I know who stream on a daily basis.
That's exactly it, Slow-Mo. They stayed on.
It's the whole entire format. I've been in streams when it was happening and seeing other streamers talk about it with their community, and their community just like, I really don't want to go to Mixer, and for really basic reasons. Mixer's ugly. Mixer, I don't like the way the stuff works over there. I like the bits. I like, I like the emotes. I just like Twitch. It's really basic reasons like that. But I will say, and this is my last point about Dr. Disrespect. I think Dr. Disrespect being on YouTube, and part of the reason that people like Ninja trying out YouTube and then deciding, no, I'm not going to do it, is part of the reason why we're getting some of the changes to live content on YouTube right now.
Yeah,
because they're realizing we had an opportunity to get these big time people on our platform, and the only one we landed was Dr. Disrespect because he had no choice.
He had no choice. Yeah,
he had no choice but to go with us. And what we need to figure out what our competition is doing and why no one wants to come over here. And so those are the kind of changes that really Microsoft should have made with Mixer.
Yep.
And maybe they would have, it would have been a viable platform for what they wanted. Because what I really think they wanted to do with Mixer is they wanted to have that implementation with Mixer where when xCloud came out and when that came out of beta, they could just immediately have it seamless with Mixer where people would be watching a streamer in Mixer play a game, and then someone would go, oh, but whether it's on my phone or whether it's on a computer or my Xbox, I can play that game through xCloud too. And that's why they made that deal with Facebook, because they weren't getting enough consistent viewers on Mixer to even justify doing that kind of feature. That's why they had to go with Facebook Gaming, because Facebook Gaming actually grew beyond them in that short time period that they own Mixer. So it's just it is what it is. But I think I'm kind of rambling at this point. Yeah, I don't even know how we got on.
Yeah, I don't know how we got here either.
I'm not sure how we got there either.
How did we get here?
This is my problem. I love podcasting so much. I'm like, BRAP, I gotta go at 10, and it's like it's already 20.
Yeah, Mooch, you gotta go, man.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to kick you out.
No,
stay,
listen,
but I know you gotta
I'll be back. I'll be back on BRAP. I'm begging BRAP. I'm like, BRAP, please go to 8 o'clock. But no, let me say this. I'm gonna say, BRAP, thanks for having me on. Awesome debate as usual with the great Gaming Forte, B Money, Slow-Mo, and the one and only Lot 37 over in WNBC. Dark Goldblum, always good to be with you too, buddy. Guys, great chat you got here. Everybody was awesome. Great discussion on Stadia. I'm sure it'll kind of, we got to bring it up on Friday. So, I'll do a shameless plug. Come check out the Mooch 78 over on YouTube, and we'll see you Friday night, guys. Thank you very much, BRAP. Thank you very much. I always appreciate being here.
Anytime, man. Open door policy, man. Anytime.
Appreciate that, guys. Have a great show.
Yep. Thank you, Mooch. Have a great evening, man.
Peace, guys.
See you. All right. I want to go to Mass Effect because we saw the trailers of the Mass Effect.
Yes, sir.
Is it the Legendary Edition? I always forget what it's called.
It's the Legendary Edition.
Thank you, Legendary Edition. And I got to say, I was pretty impressed. I got let me tell you something. I got the feels watching this trailer. Mass Effect 1 actually looks pretty good. And I don't know. I think I could be wrong. I think BioWare EA's handling this thing with kid gloves. I think they know they can't. If they screw this up, it's done. I really do. I think with the release of Mass Effect Andromeda, and then
I don't think they're done if this doesn't go well. I think
the franchise is done.
Oh no! I don't think I think they're gonna definitely continue on with Mass Effect 4. And Mass Effect 4 bombs like Andromeda, it's a wrap then, definitely. But I think they're good. I think they're okay for now. Surprisingly, the game looked the way it looked in the Legendary Edition, and that's on Unreal Engine 3.
Really?
Yeah, not even on Unreal Engine 4. They looked at it and they said that if we put this over to 4, it's going to take us years to get this game out. because Unreal Engine 4 doesn't have a very good upgrade path the way 4 does the 5. 4 has that bridge to 4.25 and then 5. And the reason why they did that is because they found that going from 3 to 4 was very painful for a lot of developers. Gearbox, for example, had Borderlands 3 took forever to come out because they started the game on 3 and then they had to move it over to 4, and it just wasn't a very seamless process. So yeah, all that said, I think the game looks great. I'm glad they listened to the community, because the community was like, if you're going to do this, can we get some quality of life improvements? Because Mass Effect 1 is 14 years old, and some of those features are dated, and that cover shooting was complete garbage. And it would be great if you actually, did some improvements there. And it seems like they really had their ear to the community or what the Mass Effect community wanted out of the game, and I think that would have been extremely smart for them, considering I know there are many gamers who have never played the series because it's a little bit older, and there are generations of gamers that haven't had the opportunity to play it as a new game or anything, and they're coming into it fresh. A concern I had is that they would not really give it a fair shake with the better ones, because 1 is not the best one. The best one is 2. For all those that seem to not understand that,
those are facts, by the way.
But I didn't want people to quit when they realize the cover shooting is straight garbage, and you got the Mako is so difficult to control, and all these other little issues that we dealt with when they first came out, and we just let it go because the story was great. But today's gamer might be like, nah, fam, I'm not dealing with this. So yeah, it's I think it might do really, really well. It all really depends on if it's going to be super buggy or not. If it's super buggy,
that's what I'm wondering about too.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
That might be might be a problem. Dark Ottomans, did you play the original trilogy or any of the?
Yeah, I love that. I love that series. It's one of my favorites, in terms of just RPG wise. I love that franchise. So the Legendary, when I heard about it, I was like, hell yeah, I'm all for it. And then I saw, screenshots of what 1 looks like, and I was just like, dang, okay, they did a good job at, making it look a little bit more modern, I mean, there's only so much they can do to make it look fantastic, and but I think 2 and 3 still look good to this day. So I mean, it's gonna be May's coming around the corner, and it's gonna be a good month, because not only that do we get that, but we also get Resident Evil at the time. We're getting a couple of other things. I can't even remember the other games that are coming out in May, but it's going to be
Deathloop's coming out.
Deathloop, yep, Deathloop. You're right, Deathloop.
Can't wait for that one.
Yep.
Yeah, there's gonna be plenty of stuff for us to play. So I mean, but with Mass Effect, it's like, are you gonna go back and play them all again, or are you gonna go back and play your favorite one? Or your favorite one?
Every last one.
Yep, I'm going through the series.
But that's the thing. Like, I mean, are you interested in Deathloop or
Mass Effect before everything?
Okay, Mass Effect before everything. I can kind of I can agree with that, because
I don't know if I can.
Once you get started, it's going to be hard to put that game down.
That is true.
I don't know, man.
The improvements,
once you get started, it's going to be hard to put that game down.
I don't know, man. With Resident Evil coming out, Deathloop, it just for me, at least for me personally.
You're talking like a podcaster right now. You want to be able to play those games so you can talk about them on your show that Wednesday. I understand that, but listen, Mass Effect.
No, Forte. I want to play because they're games that I'm looking forward to. I've already played. I'm
looking forward to it too.
I've already played
at the right time at the wrong time.
I've already played the Mass Effect trilogy, and I don't
play that 60 frames per second.
No, but I don't need to. I've experienced it. I don't need to. No,
whoa. You, Mr. PC Master Race. I play everything again because it's 60 frames per second. Did you literally just fix your mouth and say that?
I don't need to play the game at 60 FPS right now. I've already played it. I played it years ago.
Okay.
You know, it's like that chick you had, last year. You had her last year. Now you can relate to that, I think, right?
No. So what games did you just replay?
If you want to make that analogy, then this game with the improvements, if they nail everything correctly, it's not super buggy and the improvements really work well. For your analogy, it's the chick that you nailed back in the day, but now
she lost weight.
She lost
a little bit weight,
She lost a lot of weight.
She got that waist working, you know what I'm saying?
She got a little
bit implants that don't look like implants because they look that good.
Right.
All right. Look, I'm not saying I won't play it. I'm saying it's not going to be. I'm more interested in playing because I've played the trilogy already. Okay, I'm more interested in playing Resident Evil first and Deathloop, and then getting to Mass Effect after.
I'm with you on that, but I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, Mass Effect's more like a summer game, like June, July game.
That's exactly. That's why I'm looking at it.
Not playing anything new.
So you're basically saying when that game drops on that day, you're gonna not play it.
I mean, I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna pick it up, but I'm not gonna probably play it.
No. Well, I agree. If you don't play it like this, and like this is all caveated on personal preferences.
Well, we gotta look at the release dates, by the way, for these games. So.
Right, but for me, once you start Mass Effect, if you are a fan of the first ones, once you started, you're not putting it down until you're done with it.
And also, I agree before say this,
that's the problem.
They are designed. They kind of modify some things to make it more seamless to just play through the trilogy instead of just playing one. Because originally, when the games came out, one game came out, then you had a few years before the next one came out. They have changed it now so that you can hit max level in your first playthrough on Mass Effect 1. Why? So that you don't feel the need to have to go, let me try to do this to get max level and do some other things in Mass Effect 1. Nah, fam, go ahead and move over to Mass Effect 2. They made it a little bit more seamless so that you can just play through the entire trilogy. If you want to go play through it again, you would just start from the beginning again. It's all in the same launcher. It's not like, hey, we here's 3 different downloads. No,
that's actually nice.
It's all within one launcher, and they've made it so the UI is the same UI they use the Mass Effect 2's UI for 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, the best UI for 1, 2, and 3, so that it's so seamless that you don't see the drastic changes that we actually had to deal with when we played the trilogy originally, or for people like me who play it on an annual basis. So all that stuff is designed to make it feel like, yeah, it's the same game I played before, but it's a tad bit different. It's different enough that I can go through it again.
I think my biggest problem is that I know as soon as I get the game and I start playing it, I'm not going to want to put it down like you said, Forte. So that's why I'm going to try to knock out the other games first and then go and play Mass Effect, because I know I'm not going to put Mass Effect down, and I know it's going to take me a couple months because I work and do all that stuff. So I know that that's going to take me a while. So
and I agree with you on that. That's where my point is. It's like, it's not that people don't have other like Slow-Mo is king of playing a bunch of different games, and I know there's a bunch of games that he's looking forward to come out around that time. But the thing is, unless you're not gonna install Mass Effect on the day it comes out, and you ain't gonna pop it into that and play it that day, then you might stand a chance of skipping over it. But once you start playing it, and especially if you're a fan of the original, because let's be for real, I called someone didn't call me back, matter of fact, because he probably was busy doing life stuff. But
my bad.
No, you're good. I was calling because I was fan, because I didn't see the trailer when it first released, and I caught it probably 2 or 3
hours. That trailer was epic,
bro. I saw your post where you said I done watched this trailer 5 times already. Dog, I watched that trailer and I instantly just got every scene that was in that trailer. I was like, goosebumps. The Normandy running from the shockwave in space, goosebumps. I was like, yo, I cannot, I'm just reliving in my mind, as soon as this game comes out, everything is on the back burner. And I agree. If there's other games that you're interested in playing, like Resident Evil or Deathloop, those games should take priority because those are new games. But don't kid yourself. If you're a fan of this series, when this game comes out and you start it, you will not put it down.
Also, we don't quite know the release dates of some of these other games.
Resident Evil's May 7th.
May 7th.
Mass Effect the 14th. Deathloop's the 23rd.
I don't care about Resident Evil. I know. I mean, maybe I'm the only one, but I'm not even getting
Game of the Year contender.
Yeah, okay.
Now, absolutely. I'm calling it right. Game of the Year contender, just like Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy, just like Resident Evil 7 was.
That's just people lusting over that big heifer. That's all that is.
Oh wow!
That's all that is.
Wow!
It's not a Game of the Year contender. I don't see it. I don't see it.
I mean, for me, there's just a bunch of other games that I'm interested in this year, and like I'm definitely on. It'll probably be a summer game for me.
What about
that been the then I would like dive in.
Hey B, you're bot there a little bit, man. Did we lose B?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, I was saying you were botting there.
Oh, was I?
Yeah, you're fine now. I can hear you now,
okay.
But you're botting. You were saying something about like this is like a summer game you can play.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know what I mean? Because once you start, you don't want to just put it down and have to go back to it. So, you know what I mean? It'll probably be like, June, July, early August before like I really dive into it.
Gotcha.
I mean, Outriders is coming out in April.
That's right.
Yep. So, and
look, Outriders as a looter shooter. Well, it's not your traditional looter shooter where it's like an online only game or it's a live game. But if that turns out to be mid, which is a possibility, I'm excited for it. But it could turn out to be mid. People could be done with that by the time May shows up and Mass Effect comes out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to ask you, B, is are you planning on buying that $150 collector's edition with no game?
Nah, man. One of my resolutions that I'm sticking to for the rest of my gaming career, man.
Yeah.
I'm not buying any of these damn collections with no games in them.
Facts.
I don't know. That helmet looks fire, though, man.
It does, man. But it's like,
I'm with them. I almost did.
$150.
Is the pre-order out for that?
It's just gonna sit on the shelf, man. Like why can't I get the digital code?
I think the pre-order is out now.
Hey, is it out, Forte?
I didn't see. I haven't been to work since then. They wasn't up when I was at work the other day, but it might. I'll check tomorrow and see if it's up. But I don't even want to know if it's up because I want to pre-order it, but I'm with E. I mean, I'm with B. I can't. I think
I'm going to get it.
$150 for something that doesn't even come with the game.
I think I'm going to get it.
And their excuse for it was ridiculous. Oh, well, we don't know what version of the game people would like to buy.
Typical EA. You know how
you're right.
Give people the option. It's not hard to put a drop-down menu that says, "Oh, this version of the game, this game with this version." Huh? Whatever.
That's just EA.
And they don't even need to label it with what version it is. Like what they could do is just put it in.
They could just give you a code.
Yeah, EA code, and then you could select whatever one you want once you buy it. Yeah.
Look, I'm probably gonna get this collector's edition. I'm not gonna lie, just because of that Mass Effect nostalgia. To have that helmet in my collection, in my possession, I'm gonna be that guy.
We might all crack by that time. You never know.
No, I'm not doing it no more, man.
I believe B when he says it.
Yeah, I do believe.
I always think to myself like I'm gonna buy the collector's edition, and then I never do it ever.
I mean, but if I buy it. But if
I just don't see myself spending more money on a game than I have to, already. Like I only have to spend $60-$70, most of the time.
If I buy it, it would be just because I want to have something like this and put it next to this one.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I might buy it.
I'm not buying it. I just refuse.
See, Paul plays the game every year, and he's not intrigued to buy the collector's edition.
Slow-mo, you play the game every year?
Yep.
Dang, man.
That's
dedication.
So let me just talk about what the
fan.
That is a fan. Let me talk about the helmet here, right? Or the Mass Effect Legend. It's called the Legendary Cachet Bundle. Includes a wearable N7 helmet. Come on, who doesn't want a wearable N7 helmet? I know I do.
Literally everyone wants it.
Yeah, everybody will want it.
It's you know what I might do? Yeah. I'm probably just going to pick it up individually on eBay in like 6 months.
Oh, well, you could do that. Yeah. But here, okay. So it's a life-size replica of Shepard's N7 Brother helmet. It was created, they said it was created using the in-game 3D model. Features include a carbon fiber texture and LED lights that illuminate the visor. What?
Enrique, how are you more excited for this helmet game?
I don't know. But
you literally just told us that you aren't going to play it day one because you want to play other games, but you're more excited for this helmet than the game itself.
Look, don't worry about what I'm excited for. Why can't you just? Why do you got to raid on my parade for?
You worry about what I'm excited for.
The visor that has LED lights in it.
I'm with you, man, but
okay,
God,
I can't play a helmet.
Yeah, it's called cosplay. It's called cosplay.
I don't know, man. That helmet might go for a lot more on eBay.
Okay.
I wonder how much this V.
Oh, it's available right now. I'll have to pre-order this. Hold on.
Go ahead, put the credit card. Go ahead, do PayPal.
Where's? Hey, I want to get it from GameStop. Your GameStop, particular Forte, because I want to give you my business.
Okay.
I don't want to. I'm
about to check GameStop's website right now.
Yeah. All right. So I guess I'm the only one. Anyone in the live chat?
I might get it. Unfortunately,
you're gonna get it, Forte. Anyone in the live?
Because I get a discount on it, so I won't pay full price.
Oh shit! Hey, give me some of that discount, love Forte.
Sir, you got it. Only loved ones in immediate family get that.
We are immediate family, so we
co-host.
Hey,
you said you don't want it.
I said I don't want it right now. Individually,
individually discount. I mean,
yeah, if we doing discount, I might change my mind.
Oh my god! You hear this? They already jumping off the shit.
All right,
I told you, man. Mass Effect makes cowards of us all.
You know what I'm just thinking about? The 40-year-old version of Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah.
Don't be my neck. Come on, man.
I don't see it up for pre-orders. It's
not on there yet. Is it an EA exclusive?
You got on EA's website. Yeah.
No, you can get it at Best Buy.
There's a Mass Effect store as well. I know that because I got like a mug from there, T-shirt, hoodie. Anyway, there's a Mass Effect store. I think it's available on the Mass Effect store right now.
It is, and it's also at Best Buy. I'm at Best Buy, has it up right now. So, and I should mention what else the Cachet has. So listen to this: the lights, the LED lights. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this! The LED lights that they illuminate the visor and accents on the side and back. What? The lights can be adjusted between Paragon Blue and Renegade Red, with a switch located in the helmet. Mass Effect Legendary Cachet also includes a Paragon and Renegade morality spinner pin, N7 acceptance letter, canvas art prints, a metal case for the game. Unfortunately,
that letter is actually Commander Shepard's acceptance letter into the N7.
Okay. See, I'm buying it. I'm done. I'm buying this. Sold.
Yeah,
and I
had fun,
but you won't play the game.
You know what? I didn't say I was going to play the game. I said I was going to play it right away. Haters.
Oh, I'm gonna buy it day one. I'm just not gonna play it day one.
Yeah, I'm with Optimus. That's the kind of boat I'm in right now. I will say this though.
I know how long it's gonna take me to play that game.
That game's good. Yeah, I mean, I remember. I got like when that series came out. Look, the last Mass Effect 3 came out in 2012, right? Right. At the end of
this Paragon hoodie looks sweet.
Right. Preach Forte. Go ahead, pre-order that thing and get me the family love discount, because we're like brothers kind of, You need me to take my shirt off too, Forte?
Go ahead, do it on camera, and I'll buy it for you.
I'm not doing that for. Actually, I might. Hey, like Ted DiBiase said, everyone's got a price.
They do.
So, all right. So,
how much money he gave away in his matches, putting about $100 bills in people's mouths.
Yeah, that was. What's up?
Pull it out of his trousers. Did he pull it out of his trousers? Did he get that from Vinny?
He got it from Vinny.
Vinny gave it to. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but I think it was actually his money with his face on it. I don't think it was real money. I could be wrong.
Hey man,
yeah. But yeah. So the more I read about this, I'm actually more excited for the cachet than I am the actual game itself right now.
You're terrible.
All right, hey, you know what?
But you can tell.
But think about this. This is like the most like epic sci-fi video game ever, right? I think we all agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think anything compares with it.
When you see the helmet, come on, Forte, it lights up, man. LEDs, it lights up. Front and back? Are you kidding me? Yo, I can walk around the house with that shit on.
Man, I'm with you, man. You're
not hyped, Forte?
I'm telling you, man. I'm probably going to end up getting it because look, I'll be able to trade some stuff. By that time, I'll be done with Immortal Phoenix Rising. That's probably going to be about $20-$30 off of it, you know. So I ain't going to have to pay full price. So I'm not going to feel cheated by not being a game, not in the box with it. I still don't like that. I don't care what anybody says. They need to stop with this whole collector's edition that doesn't come with a game that you're trying to promote with it. That's stupid.
Look, I'm not going to dispute that. I would actually think that's the right thing to do.
I just think if you're a fan, I just think if you're a fan, and I know Slow-Mo's a fan. I'm not trying to say Slow-Mo's not a fan. I just think for a person or anybody that loves Mass Effect as much, because it's like I have anything that I could find in 7 when like I don't go out of my way to go to the website and buy it. But if I see something in 7 related in my store, I buy it. I bought the hat, I bought the jackets, I bought, I even got the I even have this. And I can't stand it. Slow-Mo know how much I can't stand Mass Effect Andromeda. I even have this.
Oh man.
I'll throw that in the trash.
I can't stand Mass Effect Andromeda, but it's Mass Effect. So I even have the writer backpacking stuff. But it's like I have to have this because this is like something that you can actually wear.
They put more effort in that backpack than they did the game.
Oh, wow, you're funny.
It's a very nice backpack too.
All right, let's speaking of games, we have some other games to talk about. The Xbox Series X is going to be getting some previously exclusive games that were exclusive to the PlayStation platform. We're going to have, officially, it's officially announced. We knew it was coming anyway, but MLB The Show 21 is going to be releasing on the Xbox for the very first time, and it's Sony's first game on the Xbox consoles.
We thought it would happen the other way around before it happened this way.
Yeah, right. And look, I don't blame Sony. They didn't really have a choice.
They had, man. They had to make a choice.
They wanted to keep that license, so they had to make a decision.
I don't blame them. That's a big seller for them.
It will cost them more in the long run to not do it. If you think about it, you got an entire studio that's built an entire engine specifically for this game. Yeah. We haven't been in the boardrooms or the conference calls or whatever to know what MLB was saying, but this is the first time you're ever putting this game on an Xbox, you probably had to have your arm twisted a little bit, but then at the same time, that additional revenue you got coming in ain't really going to hurt too much. But you make this decision, and it's a little bit of a tough one for you, but I don't think they were too hard up about it. I mean, you could go without it, and then you could try to figure out what you're going to do with San Diego, because that's all they do. You got like a good 100 plus studio here with an engine that works specifically for this particular kind of game. You're going to lose a lot of money by not doing that. So you're going to do whatever they tell you to do. You want to have it on all platforms. You want us to put it on Stadia? Okay. You're going to do whatever it takes, just so that you don't end up having to downsize that studio or liquidate and move people into, you know, other studios that might need help. Or all that stuff is just going to cost you money. So yeah, just make the game for Xbox.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody in the panel would disagree with that. You know,
I still love how Sony put their logo on the Xbox case. Beautiful.
Oh, you know they're gonna do. Sony.
It's like Sony's logo right next to San Diego Studios, right in the bottom corner.
Absolutely,
love it.
It's still a PlayStation, you know, title. It's just it's going to Xbox.
Yeah,
which I think is good. I mean, I am a huge baseball fan, so I absolutely adore the show series, and I think it's awesome that they're coming to another platform. Maybe it will help you know, make the game better, and you know, maybe we'll see some other, you know, hopefully some other baseball games come out or whatever. But I think you know, the show, it's time for it to kind of, you know, get into this new age of graphics, to be honest, because the last one doesn't look very good. And so I'm hoping that when it comes to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, it's gonna look, you know, really, you know, good. And I just don't know if they're gonna do that, because they just, I don't know, I don't know if they don't. I mean, I know they care, but I just don't. They don't really give two shits really about graphics when it comes to the show. But like the mechanics are really good still.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the show is built on.
It's the mechanics, really.
Mechanics, like. It took them a while for them to make the game look like pretty good graphically, and then they had to go through like getting all the licensed gear and shit like that. So, you know, what I mean, that cost them money on the back end. I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't made like huge strides in improving the engine. But I think we'll see some updates going into this next release, just because I think they kind of held back a little bit because they knew that transition was coming. You know what I mean? The announcement was prior to the last game releasing, so they kind of knew what they were getting into.
They wanted to make it more apparent, basically.
Yeah. So like, anytime you have like that transition from, you know what I mean, and all sports games, you know what I mean, from generation to generation, like that first game is always the biggest leap. It's going to look drastically different than the last game.
Yeah, what I'm interested in, and kind of want to know what you guys think about this. Baseball is one of those games that people will buy they'll go over the last generation. People bought PlayStations for MLB because it was the only place you could play like official MLB baseball. Even though they had stuff like RBI, that was more of the arcade side of it. This is like the more sim side of it. So people actually did that. But there's a lot of people that was just like, well, I mean, I want to play baseball, but I'm not about to go spend $500 or $400 to do it. So this game sells between 2 and 3 million on PlayStation by itself. Let's say it sells 5. Let's say Xbox commits 1.5 to 2 million extra to that. What do you think that's going to say to Sony in the future? Because this is the first time you're actually going to get a direct metric that's going to compare.
Like this means that they're going to put more of their
I don't think
games on Xbox.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. Like I do think it's going to be a discussion that is going to happen when it comes to how they're going to go about, maybe not on Xbox, but it could like say maybe the timetable on the games that we do put on other platforms is kind of sped up because we see exactly what we can actually achieve by doing it on other places. Because right now, you can only get the game, like up at this point, you can only get it on PlayStation. So it was capped. Like, you have 2 to 3 million was pretty much the cap for this game. If you see it jump to 5 million instantly, just because you released it on another platform, what's the chances that maybe not on Xbox, maybe your games will show up a little bit faster on the PC platform and stuff like that, because you're starting to see more dividends on it coming out earlier. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to happen like instantly, but this is the first time we're going to have a game that contrasts itself completely right up against the same game on another platform that it was never available on, and the platform holder has full control over it. So I'm just interested to see exactly how this is going to play itself out on the sales side, because trust me, they won't do it, but I'm telling you, they're going to be thinking like, yo, if we was just to go ahead and just do this, how much more money we can make.
Well, this is going to be different because like this is one of the only games where they have microtransactions. So like Diamond Dynasty is like super huge for the show. That's one of the reasons why like Sony holds it in such high regard, even with it only selling a few million each year, because they make a lot of money off the back end, but everybody is spending money on the packs. Mm-hmm. So, with this transition going to another console, and if people adapt to that and start buying us those microtransactions, I think that makes them look at it a little different. But I don't know if that's going to change as far as like getting, more games on PC sooner or whatever the case may be. But I think they will look at, the revenue that they make from those microtransactions. And, that might change a little bit as far as how they do business and releasing games and other platforms.
Yeah, that's all I think, because I don't think it's going to make a immediate change, because I just think, like you just said, B, I think it's going to be this year. It's like the measuring stick.
Right.
Next year will be the measuring stick to see if it lasts and if they can grow inside that ecosystem on other platforms. Then you might say, yo, 10 to 15% extra this year, 30% the next year. Then that's when the business side of you starts coming out, and you start making business decisions that could definitely help the platform even more. So it just really because this is the first time it's ever happened, when it comes to they own that studio. And granted, yes, they do have to do this because of the deal they have with MLB. And trust me, they wouldn't do this deal if it wasn't because of MLB. But I do think it has a chance to be very beneficial to them in a way that they don't see right now, that they will probably come very apparent once this game releases over the next couple of years on other platforms.
But one thing I think Sony and like San Diego need to do to the show is they need to have like different game modes that kind of casualize the experience, because like everybody doesn't want to play like a sim experience. So like if they had a mode similar to like Madden, where you can just get on there with your friends and play, like 6-on-6 or something like that, get into like an online session, create your own player or whatever, and just have like cool gaming sessions online with other people. That'll like get more casualized players to come over there. Like if you try to play the show, like even when I first started playing it like 6-7 years ago, and they started changing like the way that you bat or whatever, like most people, you get on there, you're just gonna get struck out the whole time until like you learn how to actually get hits on there. You know what I mean? Fielding and stuff like that is not just like an arcade game where you just run to the spot and you wait for the ball to get there. So I think they do need to offer a couple of different modes to make it easier for people to get into, to kind of build it and branch it out, similar to what 2K did. You know what I mean? 2K was only selling a couple million per year until they introduced that My Player mode and their fantasy stuff. So that's what really blew it up, and now they're doing 10 to 15 million a year. So
right.
Yeah, that's actually a great point, E, because you're right. Like that game is not like, I think for some people the idea of baseball is just picking it up, to play it, right? Like just pick up and play, swing the bat. That's how a lot of us, I guess, early on. If you remember games
early on,
because you remember I think like games like what B was talking. I think about like Tommy Lasorda baseball on Sega Genesis, right? Or who remembers Sports Talk baseball?
Yeah.
Those games are pretty easy to play, right?
Yep.
This game is not that. Like, you're right. It's a little more, the mechanics are a little more in depth. There's certainly a learning curve if you haven't played it. Like, so I agree, B. I think if they could do that, they're going to attract more people into picking that game up. I mean, the game sells well anyway, but I think you're right, B. I think that it opens it up to more, to a wider audience. that might be turned off by playing a game that's like a sim game. They might not want to play that. They might want to just pick up a game, pick up a baseball game and just play it, have fun, and not really learn all the nuances of the gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting that they like the cases they revealed, because they've never done a case like that. So it makes me think like there is going to be some big changes coming to the game. Like most of the cases are just, someone swinging at a pitch or whatever. To have like that stylized case that they have, that's something that they've never done before. So I'm pretty interested to see like the stuff that they announce in the coming weeks before the game releases.
Yeah, what's the special case they have? Oh my God, Jackie Robinson. Yes, I was like, I saw that today. I'm like, I'm getting that.
Yeah, the Jackie Robinson, because I always buy the one every year with the hat.
Yeah, that's day.
Yeah, day one for me too. So the other exclusive that's coming to Xbox is Sega's Judgment. I don't know if anyone on the panels played it. I did play it on PlayStation 4. I didn't beat it though. But if look, it's in the vein of Yakuza, and if you like Yakuza, you're gonna love Judgment. And I hope a lot of people pick this game up on the Xbox. It's actually a pretty solid game. If you're interested about the review scores, Metacritic, I think it was like a 8.2, 8.4, something Metacritic. It's actually it reviewed very well. It was a solid entry for the PlayStation 4. I think it came out last year for PS4, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the other game that's coming. And look, that game.
I think that's the only one that genre that actually has English voiceover. I think all the other games have subtitles.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right, B. But very much like Yakuza, if you play Judgment, it's like you're playing Yakuza. It's B, to me, it's great to see those games making it towards Xbox. I think Xbox, despite the lack of like first party bangers, at least they're making some moves, right? they're getting some new content that previously hasn't been on that console. So I think that's the silver lining in all this. By the way, everyone in the live chat, but look, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Really appreciate the support. We're also going to do a trivia giveaway. Hold on a sec here. So here's the deal. So we're going to be giving away a $25 digital code to the winner. It can be your choice of Xbox or PlayStation. Again, it's a $25 digital code. And we have a trivia question. So we're going to go ahead and do that trivia question real quick. Oh, thank you, Slow-Mo. All right. Slow-Mo, do you want to do the trivia question again? Since this is your
Sure.
All right. Hit him, Slow-Mo.
This might be a little bit of a curveball because I know most people are thinking, oh, it's going to be about something in the first three games. But this one is more along the lines of Andromeda. So, all right. What is the name of the equivalent of the Citadel in Andromeda?
Might want to repeat that one more time, Slow-Mo.
What is the name of the equivalent of the Citadel in Andromeda?
Everybody's typing in Google right now, like, what is it?
What is it? All right, we got a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Our home, the Nexus. Got it right.
The Nexus. Yep.
Awesome. All right, our home. Hopefully, you're on Twitter, because you'll need to DM me on Twitter and let me know what platform you want the digital code for. Actually, you can let me know what platform you want it in the chat, but definitely DM me so I can DM you the actual code on Twitter. So my Twitter handle's at BRAP. That's fine. Just say it's our home in the DM. It's fine. It's at BRAP_podcast on Twitter. So just hit me up real quick. Yeah, of course. Look, Cortez, like, you Google the answer because I did. Yeah, everyone's hit Google.
Right.
Someone said Presidium.
Yeah, because I mean, I actually, honestly,
the Presidium is a part of the Citadel. It's like a neighborhood or something.
It is, yes.
Yeah. I didn't even know it, and I played the game.
Yeah, I figured going Andromeda might throw people a curveball because barely anyone played it because it was so bad. And then if they did play it, they tried to block it out of their memory. So
yes,
who would remember these things, right?
Had some of the best combat though.
It did have the best combat in the entire series.
I mean, you would hope so. Iteration after iteration.
Yeah, I think that the combat in Mass Effect improved after every game.
It did.
Every game had better combat than the previous.
They also went in directions with the game that and that was the thing I kind of enjoyed about it the most, is because from when you went from game to game, the urgency of the story lessened and the combat and action went up. Because like the first one was very diplomat. The whole series, the whole Citadel, spending 17 hours on that when you first got there and reading a bunch of text logs while you're on very slow elevators. Mm-hmm. All that stuff was very impactful, very informational. And then you get to Mass Effect 2 where they truly just built out the story. Made the gameplay faster, made it play faster, made the gun mechanics play a lot better, but the story was phenomenal. And then it just hit it. Some people, and 2 was still the best one, but 3, people give 3 a big thumbs down in so many ways just because of the ending. But I think 3 has some of the most satisfying story elements in it. Everything from the DLC that led you in with Arrivals to the moment that you were getting ready to.
Well, Arrival isn't a Mass Effect 3. It's 2.
Well, it was Arrivals. It was the end of Mass Effect 2 leading into Mass Effect 3. So that's what I meant to say.
Still an expansion of 2.
Yeah, it's an expansion of 2 that just led into 3, which nobody actually expected. That was another thing that I really enjoyed about BioWare back then. We didn't know about Arrivals until 2 or 3, 6 months before Mass Effect 3 released. We was like, what? The new DLC? That it was just a precursor to Mass Effect 3, and we were like, yo, and Arrivals was really cool. And
I actually think they should do that for again. They should do that for 3 leading into
the new one that's coming out.
The new one that's coming out, and have it be really long, a really meaty, man, this is really getting graphic, but a really extensive.
Well, you're talking about that Shadow Broker type DLC.
Oh no, I want something even more.
Oh, you want something bigger than Shadow Broker?
Yeah, something that's 5 or 6 hours, right? 5 or 6 hours, maybe almost 10 hours of content, and let it be really answering all the questions that people have in regards to where is Shepard, what's the status of the crew, what's the status of the Milky Way in general, and then have it kind of end where Mass Effect 4 is taken off, where Shepard has reunited with his crew, and maybe he's you're introduced to some more characters that have been created, brand new, that kind of stuff. And then just go from there. I think that would be beneficial for them in getting new gamers who are going to be playing this for the first time and then having them being invested going into Mass Effect 4, because you went left field with Andromeda and realized that was a mistake. You ended the reason why they did that is because they kind of painted themselves into a corner with the way they ended Mass Effect 3. So this would be a way of kind of bridging your narrative from 3 to 4, and in a way that doesn't seem hokey or nonsensical to the big time Mass Effect player base.
Yeah. Well, they pretty much ended Mass Effect with Mass Effect 3, and then they decided to keep going with it because that Mass Effect 3, that was as much as people hated the ending, that was an end. That was it.
That was it. Yeah,
you saw the end of Mass Effect.
That was it.
But they wanted to keep capitalizing on the title. And Slow-Mo's right. By making the decision that they made by ending 3 the way they ended it, they had to find a way to rebirth the franchise. And it's kind of hard to rebirth a franchise when you had such iconic characters and an avatar that everybody
very hard to
literally just fell in love with. Like, it wasn't the fact that Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't a good game to me, because I really, in my heart, didn't give it a chance. And I talked to Slow-Mo about this. I didn't give Andromeda the chance that it probably deserved.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, well, I take that back then. Well, like I said, I didn't give it the chance it deserved, just because it wasn't what I wanted out of Mass Effect, because I was so hung up on what Mass Effect had given me over the course of last generation.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, this is a great Mass Effect conversation, but I do need to wrap up the show.
It's only 11:04. You had like 20 minutes past.
No, I gotta get to bed. I gotta get up early.
God. Man, you got old man bones, man.
No, I gotta get up and work bones like early. So, but no, great conversation though tonight regarding Mass Effect and Google Stadia and the exclusives that are coming to the Xbox. And big shout out to our guest Mooch, who was here for about an hour. He had to split, but check out his show Crossfire, which Forte is a part of, this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then I want to give a big shout out to Orale, my man, Dark Optimus. Life will find a way, Dark Optimus, for joining us this evening, man. Hey, Dark, always a pleasure having you on, man.
Yeah, man. It's always fun to come on BRAP. You guys can find me on
this show.
Dude, I love this show. What are you talking about?
Oh, good.
I don't know what you're talking about, Forte.
He did say he hated our show.
You just keep your trap shut over there, sir. Okay.
Oh my God.
You with that avatar? Is that an avatar that you have on your picture? What is that a picture of?
That's a robot holding a sword.
He's part of the X-Bot Legion.
Oh. Okay.
That's his avatar. Yeah. But no, Dark, seriously, man, always a pleasure. Got to get you back on again soon, man. And if you want to be found, let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation with the same name. And as always, you guys can find me on the next podcast every Thursday at 7
with Grip
Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, with Grip over there. Tomorrow's going to be a good show, though. I think every show is pretty good, but like tomorrow's going to be a really good show because we got some stuff to talk about with Mass Effect and some other things. So we'll have a good show tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Dark, again, always a pleasure. And then we got my man B Money. B, let everyone know they can find you, man.
Yeah, man, you can find me same place every Wednesday night right here on the BRAP Podcast and everywhere else at the same name, B Money 101.
No doubt, B. And then Slow-Mo, the man of many backslaps.
Yeah.
He said, that should be your intro.
Like but that's funny. Yeah, you guys can find me on my channel, Slow-Mo Backslap. Tomorrow, you can also find us on DPS Podcast on Forte's channel, Gaming Forte, and also on Scumcast this Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, where maybe Luca will have another funny voicemail for us to listen to from some crazy psycho. And that's happened last week. Last week's episode was just epic. It was great. It was great.
It really was. Yeah. And then we got my man Gaby Forte, who's gonna hook me up with that discount, right, Forte? With the,
Yeah, you still ain't take your shirt off yet, though.
That's not happening.
Oh, okay.
Take it off. Take it off.
Nah.
No, you can catch me Gaming Forte everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, DPS Podcast tomorrow night with my homie Slow-Mo Backslap, and check us out on Crossfire this Friday at 7 p.m. on the Good Man Mooch's channel. I am making a creed to the Hogue Law that we want you, and I'm going to clip this and put it on Twitter and tag you in it. We request your appearance on BRAP the week that Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes out, sir.
Ooh, yes, we do.
We need you on this show.
So you can tell us Andromeda is the best one in the series?
No. We just gonna bury him. We just gonna bury him as a team that day. So he has to come and get buried. Get buried alive that day. So, but yeah,
bury him now.
Well, we can't because he's not here. But yeah, man, it's a great show today, guys. And shout out to Ejax. Missed you today, brother. And definitely
big
can't
shout
wait
out
to see you again next week.
Yeah, big shout out to E, by the way. Yeah, look forward to having him back on the show next week.
I hope I filled his shoes well.
Well, he's got big shoes to fill. So
it is, man. It's too big.
Oh, who won the contest?
Oh, it was I forgot his name now. Our Home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he won the contest. Yeah, Our Home. I'm about to DM you the what's it called here too.
What was the prize?
It's a $25 Xbox gift card.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we like to give back to the community here on BRAP. We appreciate the support. Love each and every one of you for coming out and hanging out with us. If you aren't checking us out live, certainly appreciate you coming out and hang out with us. Afterwards. So, on that note, we are out. Everyone, enjoy the rest of the week. Have fun gaming, because that's what gaming's all about. It's about having fun. Yes, lots of fun.
We're buying helmets.
Those helmets.
We're buying helmets.
Hey, those helmets have LEDs, sir, that light up.
Yeah, what are you gonna get more use out of, the helmet or the game?
All right. On that note, we're out.
Yeah, man. I don't want to know where that was going to go.
Yeah. On that note, we're out. We'll catch everyone next week. Actually, I might do a BRAP rant this Saturday, so keep an eye out for that. I might put it out in the Twitters. Trying to do some more BRAP rants. That might come out this Saturday, but we'll see. Everyone, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Appreciate the support. Big shout out to Dark Onimus and Mooch for joining us this evening. We'll catch you guys later. We're out.
Have a great show.